One of the reasons I love where I live is the sheer beauty and tranquility of the area. I'm not a native of Buryport or Pembrey. I grew up in the suburb of Llanelli, the village of Fennyfol, famous for its beer and rugby. An only child, I lived in a 2-up, 2-down end terrace with my mum and dad. Next door lived my aunt, my mother's older sister, and my uncle. And next door to them lived my mum Gi and dad Ki, my grandparents. No visit to the seaside is complete without a bag of chips. I remember all my family going to the famous Joseph's fish and chip shop. They had a seated area at the rear where you could sit and enjoy your meal. Although their battered cod is the best I've ever had, our family feast was always ristle and chips, washed down with a Reese and Richards, burdock and dandelion pop. That was nearly 50 years ago, and I am happy to say Joseph's is still serving today. All this talk of nostalgia, it takes me back. It's the times, the sights, the smells, and of course the flavours. Tonight I'm going to make my take on the classic fish supper. In Welsh we got a phrase, we say fi'n cofio, I remember. Or we ask the question, what do you cofio ar diwrnod? Do you remember that day? And it's quite appropriate that I use the word cofio, and the title of this video is Being Gofio. Today's Father's Day. It's a day that we all remember. It's a day to be celebrated. I also remember a time when I was recently on Tenerife, back in January, with my friends Juan and Rosa Jimenez of Cook and Taste Tenerife. They introduced me to a Canarian flour called Gofio. Now Gofio is a ground wheat, there's maize in it. It can use other starchy plants such as beans, and I think the traditional one is fern root. Now Juan used it as a base to make a very light, very powdery, golden crumble base for a beautiful fruit and creamy, fruity, creamy type dessert. I'm tonight going to use it as flour to put around a piece of cod, and then I'm going to air fry. What I'm trying to do is to make battered cod without batter. So first up, I'm taking my piece of cod. I'm just going to pat this dry before going any further. Just pat it dry on both sides. Next up, I've got my Gofio, and this is what it looks like. And it smells wonderful. It's almost got an aroma of, I suppose, I don't know, it just smells like digestive biscuits of all things. So what I've done already is, in a separate bowl, is a 1/4 cup of Gofio, and into that I've added already, let's see, what have I added? I've added 2 tablespoons of paprika, and I've also added some teaspoon of onion salt. I need a lot of paprika because obviously I'm trying to fake the colour of batter, so I need a little bit of artificial colour going on there, and I'm just taking it directly from the spice. So next up is take your fish into the Gofio mix, and what I'm trying to do is just get that, you know, a good even coverage on the fish. I don't want to see any white bits if I can help it. And as I say, it's all dry. And from there, it's going to be air fryer time. And what I'm using is a little spray oil. 1 cal oil as it's sometimes referred to. So again, I'm just ensuring that I've got a nice coverage on the fish. I'm going to spray the bottom of my air fryer with the 1 cal. I'm going to lay it in my fish, and I'm also going to take another spray on the flour and hope that that crisps up nicely. So on goes the air fryer. I'm going to give it to start no more than 10 minutes at 200 degrees. The reason for that is that I want to check it halfway through the cook process, turn it over if I have to, and if I have to put any more 1 cal in, take it from there. So that's it so far. Okay, I'm going to keep my Gofio there. Bit of a tidy up while I go along. I did say I was making chips. So next up, I'm going to use my steamer, microwave steamer, and I'm just going to steam these potatoes in the microwave for about 6 minutes or so with some hot water when it boils. And off to go. So we're halfway through the cooking process, and I gotta say my fish is looking rather good. So all I'm going to do is daintily turn it over and give it another 10 minutes. So I reckon we've all got one of these lurking about somewhere in the kitchen. They were all the rage a couple of years ago, the sports blender. These peas tend to dry out quite a bit. So in goes my liquid. I got mint left over, so I'm going to take that mint and put it in. Fresh is best. So I'm going to put some of the peas in without trying to lose any. Difficult job. And then I'm just going to seal up in that goes, and I'm just going to blitz this. Now I kept some peas back. It's looking good. It is looking good. So what I'm going to do, just mix the remaining peas in with that. Sort of pea puree now it is. It's not fish and chips. It's not Buddy Port fish and chips unless you've got this burdock. Oh. This takes me back to a boy. When I was a boy, you didn't have cartons, you didn't have polystyrene packages, wooden boxes. You had this stuff, newspaper. Best fish and chips in the world, if you dim out the newspaper. Enjoy. Gofio. Gofio.